Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire.
Happy Father's Day! Go Tigers!
It is a spectacular day for baseball here in the Bronx, and we wish you a happy Father's Day from Yankee Stadium, the third and final game in this series featuring the Tigers and the New York Yankees. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Ron Allen. Glad to have you with us, and happy Father's Day to all of our great fathers out there who follow the Tigers, and hopefully we can get them a win today, Rod. But for that to happen, Tigers need to get off to a better start in this game.
You know, a couple of things that has happened in this series. The Tigers, they have not been able to match the intensity of the Yankees. The Yankees have come out, and they've really outplayed Detroit. And something else, the Yankees have scored in the very first inning on both games in this weekend series. They can't do that today if the Tigers are going to get a win in this series.
Well, maybe the Tigers have the antidote today. They've got Anibal Sanchez on the mound for the Tigers, and I'll tell you what, he's been on a great stretch, a scoreless stretch that has reached better than 20 innings now, so maybe he'll get it done today.
You know, ever since Anibal Sanchez made the adjustment with his upper body, not as rotational, which means he's throwing straight downhill. He's got a lot of action on everything he's throwing right now, whether it be the fastball in the mid-90s that he throws with pinpoint control, or the curve, the slider, or that butterfly changeup. He has not given up any runs in the last 20 and 2/3 innings, and that's exactly what it's going to take here this afternoon to beat this Yankees team. They play outstanding baseball right here at Yankee Stadium. They dominate just about every team that comes in here, and the Tigers haven't had a whole lot of success here. Let's hope that changes here today.
Absolutely. Final game of the series, then on to Cleveland next for the Tigers. Happy Father's Day to all of our dads. Right now, we send you back to the Call Sam studio. Two of the best dads I know, Matt Shepard, Craig Monroe. Of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. By Jeep, come to discover great deals during the Jeep Drive and Discover event. And by Country Fresh Milk, get real. For baseball, happy Father's Day all along Detroit and the rest of all of our Tigers fans who are checking out the game here today. The Tigers and the Yankees are both wearing blue today for Father's Day, and you'll see the blue wristbands throughout the course of the game. Both teams wearing all of the blue. Of course, the Major League Baseball trying to raise money for prostate cancer research, and part of that is the home run challenge in today's game. We are participating in the home run challenge. Every Tigers home run today will raise $12,500 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Well, we mentioned it's a glorious Father's Day here today in New York. Here are the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. We told you it was nice. It's 82 degrees out here this afternoon. A little bit humid right now, but that's okay. Mostly sunny here this afternoon, which is good to see following all the rain we've had in the area the last couple of days. Tigers have made a change in their starting lineup here this afternoon. Rajai Davis will actually lead off for the Tigers today. The rest of their lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Davis to be followed by Kinsler and then Cabrera. Victor Martinez batting cleanup. He's the DH. Cespedes and J.D. Martinez to follow. And your bottom three today features Holiday catching. Romine is again in there for Castellanos. And Jose Iglesias batting ninth and playing short. And they are facing the talented right-hander Masahiro Tanaka.
And they say that his last few starts, he is pitching as well as he did last year, the very first part of the season before he went on the disabled list. The velocity's back up to 94, average heater 91. He has a splitter, he has a slider, he has a cutter and a curveball, and he can throw all of them for strikes whenever he wants to. Let's take a look at the New York Yankees starting defense this afternoon behind Tanaka. It is presented by Tim Hortons, Young, Gardner, Jones in the outfield. Gregorius and Drew up the middle. Gregorius, boy, he's had a real nice series on both sides of the ball. Ryan's at third today. Teixeira, he's at first. And Brian McCann is catching his second consecutive day.
Well, Tanaka is coming off the disabled list with a wrist problem. Well, he's been awfully good. An ERA of 1.71. Hasn't walked a batter in his last three starts. And that has covered 21 innings. So the Tigers have their work cut out for them today. Tanaka to the windup, and here we go. Rajai Davis looks at a strike as Father's Day matinee baseball is underway from the Bronx. Davis, Kinsler, and Miguel Cabrera in the Tiger first inning. Here's Tanaka's 0-1 pitch. Rajai pops it up. Third base line. The catcher is calling for it, and McCann makes the play. That's how we begin this one here today. It'll bring up Ian Kinsler. A little bit of a breeze here this afternoon, not much. Otherwise, very sunny day, gorgeous afternoon. Fans still filing in.
It has turned out to be a lovely afternoon. All we heard when we came to the Bronx a couple of days ago is how this game here today was going to get washed out.
Yeah, the rain came in the early morning and overnight, and so it moved out of the area before the start of this one today. Kinsler now with one out. Ian checks his swing. He went around, according to first base umpire Paul Nartz. Kinsler at 268, 1 for 6 in the series. That was pretty close. Tigers just have not gotten it done offensively on this entire road trip. Just 189 on the road trip. Here is Tanaka's 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kinsler.
And Brett Ausmus held a closed-door meeting last night before he allowed the media to enter the Tigers clubhouse. There's no doubt he's not been happy with the way they've played the first 2 games of this series.
Yankees going for the sweep here this afternoon. 1-1 pitch is low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And sometimes you can't control whether you get base hits or not, or whether the pitcher goes out and has a very good outing. But the one thing you can control is your energy and the way that you play the game.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Kinsler cuts and misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Tanaka is so tough because once he gets ahead of you, he will come with that split-fingered fastball, or he will throw you a real good breaking ball. He changes speeds on everything that he throws, and he very seldom misses the glove of the catcher Brian McCann.
26 years of age from Japan, Masahiro Tanaka. Swing and a miss. Kinsler goes fishing, and down he goes. First strikeout of the ball game for Tanaka. 2 gone.
And back-to-back breaking balls thrown to Ian Kinsler, the curveball. Real nice location, buried at the bottom of the strike zone.
Here is Cabrera with 2 outs. He has seen Tanaka just 3 times in his career. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. A couple of hits in the series for Miguel, who now has 51 driven in. Defense will play him to pull on the infield. They are swung around to the left side.
Miguel has 2 hits in the series, as you mentioned, and both of his hits have gone right where he has that vacated hole on the right side of the infield. Joe Girardi does not mind giving up a single to Miggy.
2 balls, no strikes on Cabrera. Sometimes you wonder if Cabrera continues to go the other way, why do they continue to shift him? And that's probably the point right there. You don't mind if he gets a base hit. Just keep him in the ballpark. 35 up the middle, 21 the other way. Cabrera uses foul line to foul line. That's in for a strike. Country Joe behind the plate today. Joe West, our home plate umpire, the veteran of. Miggy had his 7-game hitting streak come to an end in the ball game last night.
Which is very unusual for Miguel, because usually when he comes to this ballpark, he performs very well.
And again, he shoots one to right field. They hadn't played too deeply. That'll drop in for a base hit. 2-out single.
Yeah, fastball up in the strike zone at 92. Miggy just simply fights it off the opposite way, not trying to do too much.
Talked about this oftentimes, how Cabrera this year, for whatever reason, has these strange splits. He's 423 during day games.
Yeah, no one in baseball has that number 423, which is the batting average for Miggy in day games.
Here is Victor Martinez now as they shift the opposite way to right field for Victor. 1 for 6 since coming off the disabled list. In fact, Victor had a base hit his very first at bat off the DL, but has since been held in check by Yankees pitching, which has done a fabulous job in this series. And Martinez batting just .214. One ball, 1 strike on Martinez.
And Brian McCann behind the plate for the Yankees in his 2nd year in Yankee pinstripes. He's a good receiver. He's a real good game caller. Moves very late. And doesn't tip early where the location of the pitch is going to be, just in case the hitter's trying to sneak a peek back. He'll stay right in the middle until the last possible moment.
Now the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Martinez. Here is the shift they're playing on against Victor. You see Drew deep in at second base into short right field. And Victor has hit many a baseball in that area. Of course, we're not running all that well, so playing that deeply, not an issue. Meanwhile, that ball is hit well into right field. That's going to get out of here into the second deck and right, and the Tigers are off and running today.
It doesn't matter what shift they play on Victor when you can hit him there.
A 2-run shot for Martinez. He's 2nd of the year. A no-doubter here at Yankee Stadium.
And the Tigers finally have a chance to win an inning here, which will be the first inning today against Tanaka. McCann's going to move very late to the outside portion of the plate. It's not that Victor knows what's coming, but it's 86 miles an hour. It's a breaking ball or changeup that stays up. and it allows Victor to reach out with that long bat, long arms, and hit the ball into the second deck.
So we mentioned at the top of the broadcast the Tigers needed to get off to a nice start today. They just have fallen behind too much on this road trip, but not today. 2-run shot for Victor Martinez.
Not to go unnoticed, the lousy single that Miguel Cabrera hit into right field to keep the chain moving to give Victor an opportunity to put the Tigers on the board.
Here is Cespedes batting .302. Nine home runs this year for Yoenis. He'll shoot that one on the ground to the shortstop. Hobbled and no play. Boy, Gregorius has been so good in this series. That time he couldn't handle it. 2-out error for Gregorius. We'll keep the inning going. And then it brings up J.D. Martinez. So the Tigers, who came into this game with a 189 average on the road trip, striking early a 2-run shot. And now J.D., who's had a decent series, 3 for 8. Swing and a miss, 0-1. That error by Gregorius is his 9th of the season. Made some fine plays in this series. That one hit sharply off the bat of Cespedes. And Tanaka's 0-1. Driven deep in the air to left center field. This ball has a chance. It is gone. Couple of home runs for the Tigers. Another 2-run shot and a 4th spot in the first inning.
Tanaka had been throwing the ball very well. He had kept the ball down in the strike zone since coming off the disabled list. He's gotten a couple of pitches up in this inning, and Victor made him pay. And so did J.D. Martinez, who could have very easily had 4 hits yesterday. It's a fastball that gets way too much plate. Center cut for J.D. Martinez right around belt buckle high, and he absolutely clobbered it.
So a dormant Tigers offense, a frustrated Tigers offense, comes out with a bang here today on Father's Day. And it's 4-0 Detroit. Here's Brian Holiday. So the error proves to be costly for the Yankees. And Tanaka came into this game having a terrific month. First 7 starts, he's allowed 4 home runs, 2 today. Here's the 0-1. Really, up until this game, it was the Yankees that took advantage of the home run ball.
That's right.
They had 5 home runs in the ball game yesterday. They had 2 in the opener, actually 3 in the opener. And it's the Tigers that have been able to reach the seats a couple of times early in this one. Holiday swings and misses. Down he goes. That'll end the inning. It's a good start for the Tigers, though. A pair of 2-run shots. Victor and J.D. Martinez. And the Tigers out to a 4-0 lead. Tigers out to a nice start today. They lead 4-0 over the Yankees. J.D. Martinez and Victor Martinez with home runs. Here's the starting lineup for the Yankees. It's headed by Brett Gardner, who's had himself a huge series. Their lineup presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Gardner is 7 for 11 in the series. Gregorius and A-Rod, your top three. Teixeira, McCann, and Garrett Jones in the middle, and a bottom three of Young, Drew, and Brendan Ryan. They are facing Aníbal Sanchez, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Anabal's had a lot of life on his fastball last couple of starts. He checks in with a 5-7 record in ERA. It's a shade over 4.5. As a matter of fact, of all the pitchers in the big leagues, his .227 batting average against his fastball is 9th best in the majors. He can command it to all 4 quadrants of the strike zone.
And the Tigers have supported him with 4 big ones early in this game as Gardner takes a strike. 0-2 on Brett Gardner. .282 batting average. His average has hiked up after his 7 for 11 in the series. Double, triple, and homered already in the series. Almost hit for the cycle yesterday. Sanchez missing high. 1-2.
And Gardner has shown all of his tools in the first 2 games of the series. He's put his legs on display. A couple of really gutsy base running plays. His defense, his power, and quite a few base hits.
Swing and a miss. He chased that time out of the strike zone. Down he goes.
That's what I was talking about regarding Aníbal Sanchez and his ability to throw that 4-seam fastball wherever he wants to. This one's up in the strike zone about 92, and Gardner couldn't catch up to it.
Bring up D.D. Gregorius, batting in the 2 slot in this one today. Was batting much lower in the lineup in the first 2 games.
He's had a nice offensive series.
He looks at a strike, going 1.
In the beginning of the season, Gregorius was batting 9th and not performing very well, but lately he's done good work to get that batting average up to 236.
Sanchez with the 0-1, a wave and a miss. 0-2 on Gregorius, who has 2 homers in this series. He is 3 for 8. He's knocked in 16 this year. Big error in the first inning by Gregorius kept the door open, and J.D. hit the home run. Swing and a miss. Sanchez off to a nice start. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' starting defense. It's presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet. And right to left, Martinez, Davis, Cespedes, third to first. Romine, Iglesias, Ian Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera. Brian Holiday is getting the catching duties here once again today. He is second in the last 3 days.
Here is Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod looks at strike 1.
It looks like Anibal has got that real good command with that fastball again. And that one at 93 on the black outside.
A-Rod looks at another strike, and it's 0-2. So Sanchez doing nothing but throwing strikes. A-Rod 3 for 7, couple of homers in the series. Of course, he homered in the first game for his 3,000th major league hit off Justin Verlander. Now the 0-2. A-Rod just got a piece of that, staying alive. 14 home runs, 40 RBIs this year for Alex Rodriguez, the designated hitter for the Yankees. After missing all of last year, suspended by Major League Baseball. He has come back and flourished here in the Bronx this year. And a bouncing ball to second. Will be routine there for Kinsler. And a nice start for Aníbal Sanchez. A couple of punch outs and a ground out. Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. By Jeep, come to discover great deals during the Jeep Drive and Discover event. And by Country Fresh Milk, get real. Back here in the Bronx, gorgeous day and a really nice start as well. Tigers get a pair of 2-run homers in the first, and they lead 4-0 over Masahiro Tanaka and the Yankees. And it'll be Andrew Romine to start things off here in the Tigers' second. It'll be Romine, Iglesias, and then Rajai Davis. First one is outside to Romine.
Back-to-back starts for Andrew Romine at third base here today. Nick Castellanos getting another day off.
Romine 0 for 4 in the series. He looks at a ball high, and the count rolls to 2 balls, no strikes. Tanaka surrendered a 2-out single to Miggy in the first, and then the homer by Victor. Was also victimized by an error. Romine shoots it to right, base hit. Solid single in front of Garrett Jones, and Romine is aboard. Right now we check in with Trevor Thompson. Trev?
Well, Romine just snapped an 0 for 14 skid, and Brad Osmus said prior to the game he liked the way he'd been swinging the bat lately, so he put him in for Nick Castellanos today. And Castellanos had a bit of a pep talk with Wally Joyner inside the dugout prior to today's game. Joyner telling him simply to stick with it, giving him some of his previous experience and just letting him know everything's going to be all right. We'll see if that pays off for Nick when he returns to the lineup. Obviously not hitting the way he wants to so far this year, just .217 average. Hopefully a couple of days off will get him back on track, though. Back up to you guys.
All right, Trev, thanks. Well, as a coach, not only do you look at stuff mechanically, but I guess you have to be a psychologist as well.
And Wally Joyner played a long time in the big leagues. There's no doubt he has gone through a few stretches, just as Castellanos is going through a very tough time now.
Iglesias batting. And for Jose, 0 for 6 in the series. Tigers already have 4 hits against Tanaka. Swing and a miss. Iglesias just 1 for 11 on the trip. He has cooled just a little bit, but still .323 batting average. Here's Tanaka's 1-1. Bouncing ball left side, fielded at third by Ryan to second one in the relay. Not in time. 1 on, 1 out. Hey, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select our Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. It's presented by McDonald's Big Mac and 10-piece McNuggets. Back to the top of the lineup we go, and Rajai Davis, who popped up in his first at bat. 278 this year for Rajai. Tanaka missing outside, 1-0.
Iglesias on first base has 9 steals. He's been caught 5 times. Might be difficult to run on this combination. Tanaka takes very little time getting the ball out of his hand on its way to the catcher, McCann. It's about 1-1, 1-2, which most of the times you don't try to run on guys that are that quick to the plate.
Davis in the air to shallow left center field, and that ball is going to drop right in front of Young, who tried to make the basket catch.
Surprised Young didn't leave his feet to make that grab. He surely would have caught it then, but he must have thought that he could catch that ball by staying upright and not diving for it.
So the hits just keep dropping for the Tigers. They have 2 on now here in the second with 1 out. Tigers last night as a team had 7 hits because of some offense they got going late in the game. They have 5 already today. Ian Kinsler will stand in with 1 out. Kinsler struck out in the first against Tanaka. And Ian looks at a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Tanaka typically pitches extremely well here at home at Yankee Stadium. In fact, he's 8-3 lifetime with an ERA of about 2.5 in this ballpark. He's made 13 starts. Been battling some injuries. Was on the DL earlier this year with a wrist problem. That is popped in the air to shallow center field. Brett Gardner coming in. And the runners will hold, 2 gone.
And Tanaka landed on the disabled list last year with about a 10% tear to his right ulnar nerve in the elbow. He elected not to have surgery and to rehab it. And he came back this year, spent some time on the disabled list. Now he's back, and he says he's healthy, but you would assume at some point in time he's probably going to have to get that elbow fixed.
Well, I would think, and the question I have is, what is the threshold between you could do rehab and no, you need surgery? I mean, 10% still a pretty decent tear.
Correct. But he knows that if he does go in and have Tommy John surgery, he'll be lost for the entire year and parts of the next season.
Here's Cabrera now with 2 on.
Miggy has been one of the best hitters in all of baseball with runners in scoring position.
Singled with 2 outs in the first inning, keeping the frame going, and that's when Martinez hit a ball into the second deck in right field to give the Tigers a 2-0 lead at that point. Swing and a miss there.
And good split-fingered fastball there thrown by Tanaka. When he's right, he really buries that splitter at the bottom of the zone, and it's very, very difficult to pick up. And with his velocity getting back up to about 93, 94 miles an hour, there's about 6, 7, 8 miles differential between the 2 pitches, which makes the splitter that much more effective.
Tigers really good speed on the bases right now with Iglesias and Davis.
And the thing about Miguel Cabrera, he is such a great hitter. If you get ahead of him with one pitch, it's very difficult to put him away with that exact same pitch.
1-2 on Miguel. Gap shot would score 2 here. Tigers already lead 4-0. And they are trying to stop a string of 5 consecutive losses against the Yankees. Yankees, of course, won 3 out of 4 in Detroit back in April, and then took the first 2 in this series. One and two. Blocked at home plate by McCann. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck. Tigers had Victor, who's already homered. Tanaka taking a very long look in with McCann. Now he's ready with the 2-2. 3-2 on Miguel Cabrera.
It's the best fastball of the afternoon thrown by Tanaka. Yeah, that one at 94.
Tanaka last year in his first year with the Yankees was 13-5 in ERA sub-3. But it was shut down after 20 starts because of the elbow problem. Runners will go on 3-2. And he lost in ball 4. That's going to load the bases. That's the first walk that Tanaka's had in his last 3 starts. Well, this Friday, the Tigers take on the White Sox at 7:08. Fans are invited to stay after the game for a fireworks spectacular. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER, or if you'd like, visit tigers.com. So here's Martinez. who hit his second home run of the year back in the first inning. He's got him loaded here with 2 outs and a chance for the Tigers to really bust this one open early. Strike 1 on Victor. Four grand slams in Victor's career. And a very solid .333 average with the bases loaded lifetime. Now Tanaka's 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes.
And last time Victor was up, he got himself a fastball that was tailing away from him about belt buckle high and played long ball for the first time since coming off the disabled list a couple of days ago.
Second deck home run, which left no doubt. Victor's last home run was in early May 6th. He was in Chicago, his only other home run of the year. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle, and it's into center field, a base hit. 2 more runs will score. Iglesias and Davis, and Victor Martinez off to a nice start today, his second hit.
Not a horrible pitch by Tanaka. 0-2. It's at the bottom of the strike zone, but Victor goes down and he gets it, and he beats the shift that the Yankees were playing on him with a base hit right back through the middle to drive in 2 more. 4 RBIs already on the afternoon for Victor.
Martinez has jumped his RBI total now to 19 on the year. And we're getting a visit to the mound here. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, along with the interpreter for Tanaka.
First time we've seen Larry Rothschild hit the field in the first 3 games of this series.
Yeah, he was comfortably ensconced in the dugout the first 2 games. They did not need him. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. 6 runs on 6 hits against Tanaka here in the first 2 innings. And it may not be done yet. Here's Cespedes. Cespedes reaching on a big error by Gregorius in the first inning. Would have been out number 3 instead. It was followed by a 2-run shot from J.D. Martinez. High fly ball. That's into shallow left field. Young coming in. And Cespedes is retired. That'll be it for the Tigers. Add 2 more though, and it's now 6-0 Detroit. early in this game, and, well, who knows? It may be enough. Here's our T-Mobile game changer. Here's why. Because in the month of June, Rod, Anaheim's been pitching extremely well.
Yeah, he could not keep the ball out of the air the first few starts of the season, therefore gave up 12 home runs. But lately, he's kept the ball down. He's only given up 1 homer, and he's been able to command that fastball much, much better.
Had a snappy first inning, a strikeout, and a ground out. And now Mark Teixeira leads it off in the bottom of the second. Shift on for Teixeira, who spins out of the way of a fastball up and in.
Absolutely love that pitch right there by Anibal Sanchez. That's what the first 2 starters of the series did not do a lot of.
Here's the 1-1. Teixeira cuts and misses. 1-2 on the Yankee first baseman, 1 for 6, a couple of walks in the series. 32 extra base hits this year, and a fine start for Teixeira. And that one just missed.
And Teixeira, historically, throughout his major league career, has been a slow starter. And not this year. He's gotten off to a really nice start in 2015.
Pulls that one to first. Right there is Miggy. And it played nicely. 4 up, 4 down against Sanchez. 1 gone. And Brian McCann. And for McCann, .270 batting average, a walk and 1 for 3, or 1 for 4 rather, in this series. He's also picked up an RBI. He's hit 9 home runs this year. Sends it high in the air and deep to right.
Make that 10.
Yes. That ball is way gone and out of here. McCann gets the Yankees on the board. Well, the scoreless streak for Sanchez will come to a crashing halt on that second deck homer for Brian McCann.
It's a changeup that fades right into the happy zone of McCann, and he absolutely drilled that ball.
Number 10 for McCann, his 43rd RBI of the year, 6-1 ball game.
That is the 11th home run the Yankees have now hit in the last 5 games, so they've really been flexing their muscles.
Living up to the nickname Bronx Bombers these days.
That's right. It's their 90th home run on the season. Only the Houston Astros have more.
Garrett Jones has hit 3 homers this year. The former Pirate and Marlin. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jones, who gets the start in right field today. Sanchez early in this game, Rod, has got a lot of swings and misses.
He has that kind of stuff, especially the way that he can command his fastball. And then you add in the fact that he's got that really good changeup, which is a legitimate swing and miss pitch, and the curveball and the slider. We've talked about Sanchez on many occasions. When he's right, there are very few right-handers in the game that have the same type of arsenal that he has.
Chris Young waiting on deck. They play Jones pull, and he sends one right back to the mound. Anibal is right there. 2 outs.
Anibal Sanchez gets himself in really good position to make plays when on the mound. Effortless delivery.
It'll bring up Chris Young. It also brings us to the Bernstein advantage, the pitcher-batter matchup. And this one belongs to Anibal Sanchez, as Young is only 2 for 16 against Anibal.
With 7 strikeouts. Has not been a good matchup for C. Young.
Young is 11 for 20 against the Tigers this year.
And there has nothing been cheap about any of them. He's been scorching the baseball against Detroit.
Young 4 for 7, couple of homers versus the Tigers. Anibal ready with the 0-1. He'll drill another one to left field. That's a base hit. Young continues to swing it against Tigers pitching.
Young, when he was playing for the Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Mets, he had a huge swing and he struck out a lot. But watching all of his swings with the Yankees this year, very short and quick to the ball these days.
Here's Stephen Drew. 4 for 9 in this 3-game set so far. Ball 1. Drew manning second base these days for the Yankees. Yesterday they honored a really good second baseman here over the years, Willie Randolph, who received a plaque to go out in Monument Park. Randolph made a nice speech here yesterday as well. He was quite a player. A 6-time All-Star for the Yankees. Here's the 1-0. That'll sail high. 2 balls, no strikes. Stephen Drew. Only Brian Dozier has more home runs among second basemen in the American League. Dozier with 13 this year. Drew has 9. Dozier, however, plays in a much less friendly home run ballpark. Runner with a big lead. He'll go down to second with the tag not in time. That was closer than I thought it would ever be.
And the only way that you run down by 5 runs in the very second inning is if the pitcher has totally forgotten about you. And that was exactly the case. Anibal Sanchez not paying any attention to Chris Young.
Young swipes the bag, his first of the year. And there's ball 4. So he lost Drew on 4 straight. 2 on now with 2 outs. Holiday runs out to the mound as Brendan Ryan steps in for the Yankees. Yankees have quick strike capability because of the power they've had in this lineup. Of course, in this ballpark, and now Brad getting on the phone. Things got out of hand last night, so much so that Josh Wilson had to pitch for the Tigers. Ryan had a pinch hit single last night. Swings and misses 0-1.
Earlier this year, all the Yankees started to grow some mustaches. And I guess Ryan's decided to keep his. He's still sporting it.
Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2 now on Ryan.
It's funny how teams come together, whether they grow mustaches or beards or whether guys have certain haircuts. I guess it's all part of team camaraderie.
Red Sox a couple of years ago had the beards going on their way to the World Series. There's a bouncer back up the middle and into center field. Base hit. Young coming around to score, and Ryan has himself an RBI single to make it 6-2.
Well, you knew the Yankees, it would not go quietly here this afternoon, regardless of who the Tigers had on the mound. They play with a tremendous amount of confidence in this ballpark. It's a fastball up at 94 miles an hour, right back through the box. Solid single for Brendan Ryan.
Jeff Jones coming out of the dugout for the Tigers. He has made a trip to the mound. Sanchez has given up a homer and now a 2-out single to Ryan. Driving a run, 6-2 ball game. That has gotten the crowd back into it a little bit. Pretty quiet when the Tigers put up 6 early runs. Now Brett Gardner stands in. He struck out in the first inning on a pitch out of the strike zone. Animal got him to chase a fastball up. Swing and a miss. Gardner down to the count 0-1. He is now 7 for 12 in the series. One ball, one strike. Seventh man to bat in the inning. Yankees have a homer. They have a couple of singles, a walk, and a stolen base in this inning. Missed it outside. 2-1.
35 total pitches thrown by Anibal Sanchez. Only 11 needed to retire the Yankees in order in the first, but he just ran into some difficulties here in the second.
Sanchez now has gone 3-1 on Gardner. After getting a quick strike on the leadoff man, Gregorius waiting on deck. Pulled on the ground to first, right at Cabrera. That'll get him out of the inning and end the rally here for the Yankees. You're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire.
Day. Enjoy our game, and I want to give a special thanks to my dad. I know you're watching because you don't miss a game. I just want to say Happy Father's Day, man, and I wish I was there with you.
JD Martinez wishing Happy Father's Day to all of our Tigers fans and our Tigers fathers watching here this afternoon. Tigers off to a nice start. 6-2 ball game now as Tanaka goes back to work in the third.
JD has already homered for his daddy here this afternoon.
Holiday will follow, and then Romine against Tanaka. 6 runs on 6 hits for the Tigers. Yanks 2 runs on 3 hits.
And JD swung the bat well last night as well. He ended up with 2 hits. He very easily could have had 4 hits in last night's game, but he hit the one today where they couldn't catch it.
Here's Tanaka's 1-1. Martinez now 14 home runs this year. Cabrera has 15. Now Tanaka's 1-2. He got him, strike three. JD knew it.
That's an outstanding, well-located fastball thrown by Tanaka at 93. Right at the glove of Brian McCann to catch. The glove doesn't move.
Country Joe, little turn, little fist pump for the strike three call.
It's a little hot down there today, Joe. Not going to exert too much energy.
Here's Holliday, who struck out in his first at bat. And he tried to drop down a bunt with the third baseman Ryan deep. Ryan getting the start behind the plate today, with McCann getting the day off. Tigers on their way to Cleveland after this one here tonight. 3-game set coming up against the Tribe. Then back home. All-Star break is rapidly approaching.
Season is flying by.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. I mentioned the Indians. We're on the air tomorrow night at 6 o'clock with Tigers Live. Tigers will take on the Tribe. That's our next broadcast. So make sure you tune us in at 6 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Now Tanaka sizing up Holliday for an 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 from the right-hander. He'll get back out of play. Speaking of the All-Star game, last year Tanaka made the All-Star team along with Dellin Betances. They became the first pair of rookies in Yankees history to make an All-Star team. And Tanaka was considered a rookie, as you see his pitch count now up to 50.
And both guys had outstanding seasons. And Betances, he was able to finish the year. And Tanaka spent some time on the DL after the All-Star game last year.
The last Yankee rookie to make the All-Star team was Hideki Matsui back in 2003. He had some home runs in this ballpark. Down goes Holliday. Another strikeout for Tanaka, 2 away. And now Andrew Romine. Single back in the second for Romine. Andrew's been all over the place. Short, third, first base. In a severe pinch, could catch. Here's Tanaka's 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Romine is one of those guys that has a role that you really have to embrace, Rod, to be able to be good at it. The utility role, knowing that you might play different positions. Your at-bats will be spotty.
It takes a lot of work, and it takes a whole lot of preparation when you play as many positions as Andrew has to play. But he does embrace it. He comes to the ballpark with a smile on his face every day. He does not complain when he's not in the lineup, and simply gets all of his work in. And when they do call on him, more often than not, he gets the job done.
Here's the 3-0. And he'll take a strike, 3-1.
Andrew should get another really good fastball to hit here from Tanaka. It's going to be firm. It's going to be about 91 miles an hour.
Romine will slice it back out of play. Fill the count now, 3-2. Tigers last couple of years have had a couple of guys that really have been good utility players that have embraced that role. Don Kelly most recently. Ramon Santiago. And now Romine, who broke camp along with Hernan Perez as two guys that can play multiple positions. Perez has since moved on. 3-2 is ball 4, and Romine gets a 2-out walk. On base twice today. So Tanaka, who is not issuing any base on balls recently, has now walked 2 in this game. And here is Iglesias, who reached out a fielder's choice and scored a run. Tigers jumped on the Yankees today, and the Yankees have been so good at home this year. In fact, they're 20-11 at home. Only the Royals have a better home record in the American League. The Yankees, meanwhile, have been on a roll lately, winning 11 of 12 in this ballpark. But the Tigers jumped on it for 6 early today. There's a strike called on Iglesias, 1-1.
And with 2 outs, you know Brad would love to see Andrew Romine try to get himself down in the scoring position. He has the ability to steal a base. But Tanaka only about 1-1, 1-2 getting the ball to the catcher. But if you can pick an off-speed pitch, you might be successful.
Little chopper slowly left side of the infield. Gregorius has no play. Infield hit for Jose Iglesias.
Yeah, there was a little bit of miscommunication there between Gregorius and Ryan, third baseman. Ryan usually does not play third base. That's Chase Headley's spot. They're talking about it right now. Not sure whether Gregorius would have gotten Iglesias anyway, but there was some miscommunication. Yeah, Iggy does get quite a few infield singles anyway.
So it'll keep the inning going, and we'll see now if Davis could take advantage. Tigers now with 7 hits in this game, which matches their total from all of last night. We're only in the 3rd today. Tanaka's been in all kinds of trouble today. A lot of traffic on the bases. Rajay single and a pop-up. Swing and a miss. Davis out in front, 0-1. Rajay is tied for the league lead in triples this year. He has 6. Kevin Kiermaier of the Rays is tied with him. Davis, good production despite his limited playing time. 14 stolen bases, good for 4th in the American League.
Rajay brings a tremendous amount of energy when Brad Ausmus writes his name into the lineup. Plays the game with a lot of flair, a lot of style.
Rajay brings a tremendous amount of energy on the bus ride to the ballpark.
That's right.
In the dugout, in the clubhouse. He's behind here, 0-2. Pop up in the shallow right. Playable for Jones. And that'll end the threat for the Tigers. They will strand 2 men. We are on our way to the bottom of the 3rd at Yankee Stadium. Yankees 7-3. Anibal Sanchez, after a very quick first inning, gave up a homer and an RBI single. In the bottom of the second, now back to work here in the third. It'll be Gregorius, A-Rod, and then Mark Teixeira. Facing the Tigers right-hander. First one is low and in. 1 ball, no strikes on Didi Gregorius. One of the 2 strikeouts that Sanchez had in that first inning. Here's the 1-0. Checked it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gregorius, originally signed by the Cincinnati Reds, was then dealt to the Diamondbacks and then came over to the Yankees in that 3-team deal, which netted the Tigers Shane Green. That's up high. 2 balls, 1 strike.
He has always been known as a great defender. He's a really good shortstop, and the bat hasn't caught up with the glove yet.
We've seen signs of it in this series, though. He's hit a couple of long balls. Gregorius is an interesting guy. He's a guy that's a pretty good artist, and he likes to sketch. He'll do a lot of that on the road as well. He's got many talents.
Speaks quite a few different languages.
Sanchez with the 2-2. 3-2 on Gregorius. Only 3 hits so far for the Yankees, 7 for the Tigers in this game. Bouncing ball right side. Cabrera's been busy today. He'll shovel it to Sanchez, and 1 gone. Time for a game break. Here's Johnny Kane. All right, Johnny, thanks. Here it is 6-2 in favor of the Tigers, who came in 6.5 back behind KC. Cleveland, man, we're just waiting for them to take off with that rotation they have.
They strike out a lot of hitters, but they don't score very many runs.
In for a strike on Alex Rodriguez.
And last time the Tigers 6.5 games off the pace in the American League Central, you have to go all the way back to May of 2011.
No balls, 2 strikes on A-Rod.
And we told you that Detroit went on to win the division by 15 games that year over the Cleveland Indians.
Way high. A-Rod was not going to chase that. Alex Rodriguez has had 13 seasons of 30 or more homers and 100 or more RBIs. Here's the 1-2. And in some ways even fascinating. I know the controversy around Alex Rodriguez has been well documented. We all know that. But still, he missed an entire season last year and still picked up his 3,000th hit.
Not only did he miss the entire season last year, but the 2 years prior to that, he had gone through a couple of hip surgeries. So he hadn't played very much in the last 3 seasons.
Sanchez strikes him out, 2 gone. That'll be the 3rd strikeout for Anibal.
Yeah, this is what Sanchez does so well. He moves the ball all around the strike zone. Then he finally gets Alex to chase that heater upstairs.
That'll bring up Teixeira. Pulled the ball on the ground his first time right to Cabrera. And because of that, the Tigers play him severely to pull. Even the third baseman Romine is way around toward the bag at second. Another ball pulled on the ground, this time foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Teixeira's next RBI will be his 50th, one of quite a few first basemen that have had really good starts to this season. Here's a bouncer left side beating the shift. He just took it the other way for a 2-out single.
If you're playing a guy one way, you would think that more often than not you're going to throw him a pitch that he would hit into the shift, but this fastball is away. You see where Brian is set up. He's off the plate outside, and Teixeira just simply goes with the pitch.
It'll keep the inning alive for McCann, who homered in the second off Sanchez.
I guess that same logic applies that we were talking about earlier regarding Miguel Cabrera. You overshift Miggy, you don't mind if he gets a base hit the other way. They don't mind that with Teixeira either, as long as Sanchez can do his job and get Brian McCann out.
He couldn't get him out back in the second with a home run. McCann now has hit 33 home runs as a New York Yankee, and 27 of them have come at home. So he has really enjoyed playing in this park.
It's one of the reasons why the Yankees signed him as a free agent. They knew he had tremendous pull power. They knew they had that short porch in right field. And McCann had done a lot of home run hitting when he was playing for the Atlanta Braves the first 6 years of his major league career.
Yeah, that he did consistently. Oh, down he goes as he takes a hack, and he'll try and walk it off.
He was known as the best hitting catcher in the senior circuit while he was there. And that's going to hurt for a while.
Yeah, when you don't have any protection, that is a direct hit. Right up the old shin bone. Oh, 0-2 on McCann. Sanchez again with an 0-2 fastball up, but that one way too high.
And McCann stands right on top of the plate. He is daring you to throw anything inside so he can turn on it.
McCann in his days with the Braves went 7 consecutive years of 20 or more home runs. Missed it outside. 2-2 now on Brian McCann. McCann also has over 250 doubles as well in his career. So now Sanchez has run the count full 3-2, which will give Teixeira a head start at first base. Which Holiday is reminding everyone of. And on time called by McCann. Tigers today trying to snap a 5-game losing streak to the Yankees. Runner going, and it's lofted to center. That's a base hit. Teixeira on his way to third. He'll get in there standing up. So the Yankees putting something together here with 2 outs. 2 for 2 day for Brian McCann.
Anibal Sanchez came back with a 3-2 fastball outside, and McCann, he didn't try to pull it, simply went with the pitch. Able to get Teixeira over to third base.
It's going to bring up a chance now for Garrett Jones. That's the 5th hit for the Yankees today. Garrett Jones hit one right back to the mound, albeit very sharply, back in the second. As the Yanks try and crawl back into this game, they're down by 4.
And Garrett Jones is celebrating his 34th 4th birthday today and was born on Father's Day.
No balls, 1 strike. Ground ball, foul, first base side. So does that mean Jones gets 2 presents today? Father's Day gift and a birthday gift?
All dads should get 2 or 3 presents today.
Why?
It's our day. It's Father's Day.
So Father's Day is good for at least a couple gifts.
It's good for a couple of gifts. Today is our day.
Well, judging by that logic, then Jones should get 4 or 5 gifts.
A lot of dads enjoying the action here today at the ballpark with their kids. And I'm sure a lot of dads tuned in at home.
Up and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jones. Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Garrett Jones, who began his career in the Twin system, but it really wasn't until he got to the Pirates that he took off. He had some good years with the Pirates. Spent 5 seasons there. Hit a bunch of home runs. Lined right to the third baseman, Romine. Hit it hard, but that'll end the inning. And the Yankees strand 2 as we go to the 4th. We invite you to celebrate the 4th of July holiday with the Tigers special ticket and t-shirt package for all games between June 30th and the 5th of July. They're available exclusively at tigers.com/stars and stripes. Take advantage of that. In the meantime, Tigers have a 4-run lead here as we go to the 4th. Masahiro Tanaka is back out there. He has not had an easy inning yet as Kinsler starts it off. He ropes one foul on the ground, 0-1. Strikeout, flyout for Kinsler, the Tigers' second baseman, in the series now 1 for 8. Six runs, 7 hits for Detroit, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 big error for the Yankees. Kept the door open in the first inning, and the Tigers took advantage. Again rolled foul, and the count is 0-2. So Kinsler this year now is 3 for 24 versus Yankees pitching. High fly ball. That's into left center. Gardner is there. And Ian is 0 for 3 today. 1 out. We'll bring up the big guy. Miggy, a single and a walk. Base hit kept it going in the first, then a 2-run shot by Victor Martinez put the Tigers on the board, and for the first time in the series, the Tigers got off to a nice start. They scored 4 big ones in that first inning. He'll shoot it again to right field. Another base hit the other way. They continue to play the shift, and Cabrera continues to beat it.
Yeah, Miggy just padding his batting average right now.
And it's a batting average that came in second in the league.
Little cut fastball away from Miguel, stays with it, slices it right where the second baseman should have been playing.
Here's Martinez, who has had the biggest day today for the Tigers. 2-run homer, 2-run single. Victor looks at strike one. Martinez now has jumped his RBI total to 19 with his big day so far. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
To go back to this base hit by Miguel Cabrera on the fastball that's away from him. Take a look at the approach here by Miggy. His hands work very well with everything else, and his head is directly down on the baseball, and that's really about as good as it gets as far as balance is concerned throughout the entire swing.
Little tapper hit slowly back toward Tanaka. He's going to go to second. He'll get one there. 2 gone. You know, Rod, you talk about, or pitching coaches talk about balance for pitchers and how critical it is for them. A lot of times you don't think about it. Same for hitters too, right?
Oh, for sure. If you're out on that front foot too soon, or if you're trying to do too much damage and you're trying to create power by rotating too aggressively with your upper half, you're just not going to see the ball as well as you should. Your head's going to fly off the ball, but Miguel always has himself in the perfect position to do a lot of damage, which he has done since coming to the big leagues.
Here is Cespedes with 2 outs.
Last night, as a matter of fact, was the anniversary of Miguel Cabrera making his major league debut.
Yoenis looks at a strike, 0-1. Fascinating the amount of numbers that Cabrera has put up. Numbers that every time we show them to you on the screen, they're next to a couple of Hall of Famers. Really pick your category, it doesn't matter. The 0-1 is a strike call. Now it's 0-2 on Cespedes. Reaching on an air and scoring a run today for Cespedes. He's 0 for 2. Also 4th in the American League in doubles. A total of 20 of those for Yoenis. Tanaka ready with the 0-2.
It's a nice spoil there by Cespedes. It's a really good breaking ball. It's located well by Tanaka. Cespedes able to spoil that good pitch.
Lifted toward right field, slicing toward the corner. On the move there is Jones. He's going to climb the fence, but no luck. Back in the seats. Technically, that's a wall, not a fence. But he scaled it like Spider-Man.
He tried to, for sure. Stuck his spikes into that padded wall and tried to elevate.
Two out on the man aboard here in the fourth inning. Tanaka again ready with the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Cespedes goes down, and that is that for Detroit. No runs, one hit, one left. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. I don't know how you did if you did, but Max Scherzer threw a no-hitter yesterday against the Pirates, and Rod nearly had a perfect game.
Jose Tabata leaned into a pitch, a changeup inside, and that prevented Max from getting the perfect game, but he did get the no-hitter.
Bronson Arroyo was part of a deal that the Diamondbacks made with the Braves, who came out with a really good prospect in that trade. And the Phillies have lost 21 of 25. Touki Toussaint was a former #1 pick of the Diamondbacks. He goes over in that deal with the Braves. Many feel that they got the better of that. Sanchez goes back to work and misses outside. Also today, Alex Colomé of the Tampa Bay Rays has 5 1/3 perfect innings going against the Indians, the next Tigers opponents. Here it is 6-2 in favor of the Yanks. It is Chris Young leading it off. Ripped foul down the left field line. He just seems to hit the ball hard every time. Had himself a single, stole a base, scored a run back in the second. And Young, 5 hits in the series. There's the 1-1. Little pop up this time to Cabrera. 1 out. Here's Stephen Drew. Drew had a base on balls back in the second. And he looks at ball 1. We're talking about that Scherzer no-hitter and what could have been a perfect game. What was your take on the Tabata getting hit in the elbow? It seemed like he kind of lowered that elbow into the pitch.
Well, there's no doubt that he did that. But it's also something the umpires very seldom call. I mean, there's been a couple of occasions where guys have really leaned in on real slow breaking balls that's so obvious that they're just forced into calling it, but they didn't make that call yesterday.
Just popped up to the right side of the infield.
But I think everybody that was watching, there's no doubt they felt like Jose, he leaned into that pitch that Max threw.
Yeah, I don't see how you call it in that situation anyway, but the Tampa has been taking some grief today for being hit by that pitch. Now, I will say he had some pretty good swings, had some fastballs prior to that pitch.
Yeah, that's almost the equivalent of trying to bunt for a base hit and a no-hitter real late in the game.
That's right.
Leaning in like that.
Here is Brendan Ryan now with 2 outs. Ooh, look out. He moved him away, up and in. Sanchez in search of his first 1-2-3 inning since the first inning. Tigers raced out to a 6-0 lead for Anaheim. The Yankees got 2 back in the second. 2-0.
One thing the Yankees continue to do very well, and they've done it historically, they can really get that starting pitcher's pitch count up. Sanchez is about to throw his 73rd pitch of the afternoon with 2 outs in the 4th.
Ryan had a single to not get a run back in the second. That's why over the years those Yankees-Red Sox games would all come nearly 4 hours, it seemed, every time.
Yep.
Both of those organizations really, in the past, had worked pitchers. Country Joe's showing up throwing.
Nice throw. Got a smile out of Anibal.
It wasn't very firm, but it got there.
Nice form, though, by Country Joe. He's multi-talented.
Three and one. We've got to take another look at that. And there is ball 4, so he lost it.
Well, ask and you shall receive.
What you got, Country Joe?
Check him out. Get out of the way.
Now, what would Country Joe's pop time be?
He made it.
What a character.
He is.
Here's Brett Gardner. Apparently the perfect game for Colomé has been broken up. Michael Bourne, an infield single. So there will be no perfect game or no hitter in Cleveland today. Gardner is 0 for 2, and for the first time in the series, the Tigers have quieted him a bit. He came in 7 for 11 in the series. He'll get back out of play, 0-1. Tigers have been pretty comfortable in this game so far, but you're still a little bit edgy because 300-foot fly balls here are home runs.
And the Yankees play with a tremendous amount of confidence in this particular ballpark, and they've kind of had their way with Detroit the last number of years right here. It's been a tough place for Tigers to win. Almost as tough as winning out west in Anaheim.
Drilled to center field and caught on a slide by Rajai Davis. Down to his knees to make the play. Innings over, and we go to the 5th. Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, it is 6-2. The Tigers in the lead. And Masahiro Tanaka goes back to work as J.D. Martinez leads it off. Drills the first pitch deep in the air to center field. Gardner is going back. He looks up on this one, and it is gone.
Look out, J.D.
J.D. Martinez has absolutely crushed the ball in this series, and he's got himself his second home run on Father's Day.
That's where the big boys hit him. Straightaway center field at Yankee Stadium. That is a poke.
15th of the year for Martinez. Tigers have their third home run of the day.
And J.D., he is not bashful at hitting the ball to the biggest part of the ballpark. He has 15 home runs this year. Majority of his home runs have either gone to right field or straightaway center field. He's got some serious pop in that bat.
Here's Brian Holiday.
This was J.D.'s first at bat in the first inning, if you missed it.
Nothing cheap about either one. Tigers now have 9 hits. They lead 7-2. Meanwhile, Holiday continues to struggle to pick it up here against Tanaka.
J.D. said, forget about trying to hit that ball over the right field wall. I'm going straight central today.
Holiday is fanned twice in this game and is behind in the count 0-2.
And Tanaka tried the front door. And Holiday with a breaking ball that he started off the plate inside, tried to catch the inside corner, but couldn't get the call from Joe West.
Ripped right by the third baseman Ryan into left. Holiday's got himself a single to left field, his first hit of the day. Now Romine. Tanaka came into this game having allowed just 4 home runs all season long. Well, he's given up 3 in this game. That would be curly fries tomorrow, right?
That's right.
Tigers with 3 home runs. Romine single and a walk. And even 10 Tigers hits.
Dads may as well add the curly fries to their list of presents today.
That can't count. That's free.
Huh?
It's free. You can't count those fries. Now you're giving people a lot of
I'm trying to get it.
Gift ideas now. You are trying. I'll give you that. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Romine snapped an 0 for 14 with a single back in the second. So Brand again giving Castellanos another day off. He plugs in Romine, and so far it's worked out. Toward left field, slicing. Young is going to run up against the wall. That thing just barely got out of play. There is some activity now in the bullpen for the New York Yankees. Recently called up, Danny Barawa. He's heating up in the pen. He was called up today. The 1-2. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Iglesias will be next. Did he go? Country Joe says, yep. It'll be the first time that they get Romine. Another strikeout for Tanaka.
Ooh. What do you think? Might want to get some help. I mean, not much of a beef by Andrew, though, but very close.
Strike one on Iglesias. 6 strikeouts now for Tanaka. Single, infield hit for Iglesias, also reaching on a fielder's choice and scoring a run. That's his day so far. Here's a drive in the deep left center. It's going to be Young to track it down in the gap. And retreating is Holiday. 2 outs for Rajai Davis. Royals are hosting Boston again today at Kauffman Stadium. They're in the third, 1-0 KC. We'll keep our eyes focused on that game as well. The Tigers came in 6.5 back in the Central. Davis has a base hit in 3 at-bats and a run scored. Ball 1.
Kansas City had a little tough stretch there where they lost about 4 or 5 games in a row. But lately they're playing like the team that wants to represent the American League in the World Series again.
They just recently lost Giordano Ventura to the disabled list. One of their top starters, so that'll be a blow for them.
Yeah, he's got some owner issues with the right elbow. They have not missed a beat, though, without Giordano.
Well, the Royals have 39 wins coming into play today. If I would have told you on, what is today, the 21st, that Tampa and Houston would have more wins than anybody in the American League, I'm not sure too many would have believed it. There's a force at second base to end the inning. 1 run on the home run by J.D. Martinez. You're watching Tigers baseball, presented by Bell Tire. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Tigers trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of the hot Yankees.
It's actually Martinez 7, Yankees 2. JD and Victor have done all the damage today for the Tigers.
All the Martinez is getting into it. Here's Sanchez going to work. I guess technically that would be the Martini. It'd be Gregorius leading it off. Didi is 0 for 2. He's followed by A-Rod and then Teixeira. The 1-0 from Sanchez is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Honeyball gave up 2 in the second. The only inning that he's given up runs. Home run to McCann, RBI single to Brendan Ryan. That has been it. He has reached 80 now in the pitch count total. Two on Gregorius. Sanchez pitched well in his first start against these Yankees. Took a 2-1 loss. He went 6 in the third, allowing just 1 hit, 1 run. Struck out 8. Tigers lost that game 2-1. Pulled right to Miggy, but foul just outside of the line. 2-2 on Gregorius. And again, the 2-2. This one is going to stay in play, and it's a base hit to right. Leadoff single. Bring up A-Rod. Oh for 2 today for Alex Rodriguez. There have been 6 players that have reached 3,000 hits that have at one time in their careers played with the Yankees. A-Rod became the 6th 2 nights ago. And he sends a ground ball left side. Cut off at third by Romine. His second one, and the relay is in time for a double play.
Yeah, pitcher's best friend. Nice job by Romine getting the ball to Kinsler. Kinsler able to turn it over. 4th double play that Alex has hit into this year. Give Kinsler a real nice feed. Kinsler used that bag to help protect himself. And getting that right foot out of the way of the sliding Didi Gregorius.
It'll bring up Mark Teixeira. The shift is on now for Teixeira as Romine moves over like the rest of the infield. And he'll line one right to the second baseman Kinsler in the outfield grass. Quick inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Don't forget to follow the Tigers all season long in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, and the variable a whole lot more. You can get it for your smartphone or your tablet. MLB.com at Bat. Get it now. Tanaka's out of the game. He's been Tanaka'd out of the game. Here is Danny Barawa, who takes over in a wall-side windows pitching change. So Barawa just called up. These are the numbers at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. 26 appearances. And the first man he faces is Ian Kinsler. Kinsler, Cabrera, Martinez. So the guy comes up from the minor leagues and he's got to face 2, 3, and 4, including Miggy.
Welcome to the big leagues.
First one in there is a strike call.
97 with the first fastball from a low 3/4 arm slot with some outstanding movement tailing into the right-hander. I don't know where the Yankees find all these guys that throw hard, but they got a bunch of them in that bullpen.
12th rounder in 2010 out of St. John's. Rolled foul. The count is 0-2.
And when you throw from that arm slot, though, you're going to hang some breaking balls. 6'2", 210 pounds.
Kinsler 0 for 3, couple of fly balls to center and a strikeout. Bouncing ball left side, deep in the hole. Gregorius. Going to be a tough play, and the tag. Oh, he got it. What a play by Teixeira. Coming off the bag, reaching back and tagging Kinsler running down the line. One gone.
It's a nice play here by Gregorius, surrounding that ball, throwing off balance off the right foot. Teixeira has always been known as a really good defender at first base, able to apply the tag to Ian Kinsler as he ran by.
Here is Miguel Cabrera. Strike one on Miggy, who had a single, walk, and another single against Tanaka. Seven runs, 10 hits Detroit, 2 runs, 6 hits Yankees. Way outside, 1-1. Yankee bullpen by and large has been pretty good this year. In fact, they're 4th best in the American League in ERA. But their job here is to just keep this game in line. Right now the Yanks down 5, Tigers trying to tack on.
It was a Yankee bullpen that pretty much kept the Yankees in the race early in the season, because offensively they weren't getting it done. Their starters weren't all that effective, but that bullpen was on lockdown mode, and now the offense is caught up. They're getting some more quality starts, and they're trying to chase down the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, we're talking about that in the last half inning. The Rays 40 wins, Houston 40 wins. Two really unlikely sources to be leading the American League in victories at this point.
And Miguel has already seen quite a few fastballs in this particular pitch sequence. He has a pretty good idea how fast this next one's going to be. He's got him sized up.
So Cabrera will reach for the 4th time in this game.
And Menards brings you the big money encounter. And Victor and JD Martinez, well, they were rough on Tanaka this afternoon. 4 for 6, 3 homers, 7 runs driven in for the Martinez boys.
Victor lines one to right field, and it's going to drop. Base hit. 3rd hit of the game for Victor Martinez.
Victor Martinez going on the disabled list has really helped him. He's able to now stay back on that left leg. Look at him stay back there. He's in turn on it. He was not able to do that before going on the disabled list. The Tigers made a wise decision to slow him down and to get him healthy, and now he's no longer pushing off that left knee. He's turning, which allows him to generate power.
Well, the Tigers are headed to Progressive Field in Cleveland, and Victor is one of the leading actives in batting average in that ballpark. So that's perfect timing for the Tigers to get Victor Martinez going.
That was a great shot of just how much weight he's able to put on that left knee right now after taking about a month off to get healthy.
Because there really didn't seem to be an issue batting right-handed for the DL students.
No, there wasn't at all.
Ball one missing inside to Yoenis Cespedes. Tigers now have 11 hits, so the offense is busted out. One ball, one strike. Andy Barrowan did not pitch a couple of years ago in 2012, had a torn oblique that he had to have repaired. First shot at pitching in the big leagues this year. Little miss low and in, and the count goes 2-1.
That two-seam fastball that Barrowan features is a really good pitch, 94 to 97, but that slider that he's throwing is not a good pitch. And he does you a favor when he throws you that slider from that arm angle because there's no depth on that pitch. It's just kind of east to west in the strike zone.
McCann runs out to the mound and tries to settle the youngster down. He's given up a walk and a single. Two and one on Yoenis Cespedes. Tigers another chance here to blow this thing wide open. They lead by 5 now. They've hit 3 home runs today. Two and two. I didn't think we had a shot at playing all 3 games in this series based on what the weatherman was telling us here with the tropical storm, Bill, Bob, Frank, whatever it was, coming in. It was supposed to rain all day today.
And it's turned out to be a spectacular day. Not too much humidity.
A few puffy clouds in the sky. And the 2-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle and into center field, base hit. Miggy rounding third. They send him home and he will lumber home to score. The Tigers get another. It's 8-2.
And the batting average of Yoenis Cespedes dipped below the 300 mark just momentarily. Now he's back at 300 or above. Seeing eye single here for Yoenis Cespedes. Right back through the middle.
Tigers now have 12 hits. Larry Rothschild is back out having a visit with the young right-hander. He's now going to have to deal with J.D. Martinez. Still only 1 out in this inning. More action in the bullpen. DePaula, the lefty, is heating up. Tanaka was taken out of the game after 5 innings. Two homers today for J.D. Ball 1 high. Tigers for that Cleveland series have Ryan, Price, and Verlander scheduled to go. Bauer, Salazar, Carrasco for the Indians.
JD has played long ball twice today. One to left center field, the other one straight away center field. And he is supplying all the power on that last one. That was a breaking ball that was hanging, thrown by Tanaka.
driven to right field and deep. This is the third of the day. It is going to be, and it's going to be in the second deck the other way for J.D. Martinez. 3 home runs this afternoon.
Yoenis Cespedes. Slow down, J.D. Enjoy it.
He almost passed Cespedes.
What a day. What a day for J.D. Martinez.
Certainly remember this Father's Day. It's 11-2.
So is Daddy. That's a fastball at 93 that gets way too much played in. J.D. just pulls his hands in, and he didn't only flip it over that 314 sign. He went second deck over the right field wall.
A 3-homer day for J.D. Martinez. The Tigers now lead 11-2. All the frustrations of every game on this road trip seem to be gone now as the Tigers are pounding the Yanks. And J.D. now has 16 home runs. Inside to Holiday, 1-1. Solo shot, 2-run homer, and now a 3-run homer for J.D. Martinez. Swing and a miss. Meanwhile, Cabrera holding court with J.D. Thirteen Tigers hits as well. Ball inside. The count now is 2-2 on Holiday. Single, couple of strikeouts for Bryant. Those 3 at bats came against Tanaka. Swing and a miss. Be the second out of the inning. And it appears that is going to be it for the right-hander. He'll give up the baseball. And he was hit pretty good here in the 6th inning. So it's 11-2 in favor of the Tigers. Here comes DePaula out of the Yankees pen. J.D. Martinez, which has kind of capped a 4-run inning to this point. Now DePaula, the left-hander, will take over.
And J.D. Martinez is the 4th player this year to have 3 homers in a game. And the other three all left-handed batters. Votto, Gonzalez of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Harper of the Washington Nationals. Harper's homered again today. He has 24 total on the season.
Jose De Paula is making his major league debut out of the Dominican Republic. And he will face Andrew Romine, who swings on the first pitch and hits one deep to left field. That's down the line, and that ball is going to go. It's a home run for Romine, his first of the year.
How about that? The first pitch you throw to your major league career is hit for a homer.
And by a guy that doesn't hit too many.
No, he doesn't.
It's the Tigers with 4 home runs today. 5 actually with the homer by Romine. It was the Yankees that was pounding the ball out of the ballpark last night.
It's a fastball that is right down the middle at 89 miles an hour, and Romine, he knew it as soon as he hit it and had a chance to get out.
.318 down that left field line, and that one cleared the fence. And the Tigers pouring it on now, 12-2. They have 14 hits. Iglesias spins away from a ball up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Couple of fastballs high and tight by De Paula at Iglesias.
Just the 3rd major league home run for Romine. Meanwhile, 3 balls, 1 strike. Single for 3 for Iglesias in this game. Tigers today have established a season high with the 5 home runs. He lost in ball 4. Two-out walk. That'll bring up Davis as the Tigers bat around here in the 6th inning. They're your home run hitters. JD hit 3 today, and Romine picking one up. Rajay is single in 4 at-bats.
Rajay Davis has been a really good hitter in his career against left-handed pitching. Career average is over 300 for Rajay against lefties.
Rajay waits on a 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Yankees got De Paula from the San Francisco system. He was at AAA last year with the Giants. And that is popped in the air to shallow left center field. Brett Gardner coming in, and that'll end the inning. Tigers bat around here in the 6th, but the biggest day belongs to J.D. Martinez. 2-run shot in the 1st. Solo homer in the 5th. 3-run bomb here in the 6th.
lot of these Yankee bats, which have been very hot the last couple of days. And then when he gets you sitting on that fastball inside, he'll pull the changeup to the left-handers away. He's also changed some eye levels with fastballs up. It's been a really productive afternoon so far for Anibal Sanchez, who's been given a lot of run support.
That he has, and Sanchez goes back to work facing Brian McCann here in the bottom of the 6th. Tigers knocked out Tanaka after 5 innings. Tanaka gave up 10 hits, 7 runs. Sanchez cruised it along here. Today's had just 1 bumpy inning, gave up 2 runs in the 2nd. One ball, 1 strike. The appeal did not go, says Mike Estabrook. McCann, Jones, Young here in the bottom of the 6th at Yankee Stadium, 12-2 Detroit. He'll get back out of play, 1-2 on McCann. We've got the Yankees on the board with a solo shot with 1 out in the 2nd. His 10th of the year. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Rolled foul. Waiting on deck after McCann is Garrett Jones. Lifted in the air to center field. Rajay's under it, and 1 gone. Time for a game break now. Here's Johnny Kane. Thanks, Johnny. 6.5 the spread right now between KC and Detroit. Inning is 3.5 outs. And the Indians, the Tigers' next opponent, 9 games back.
And White Sox finally won a game last night, helping them snap a 8-game losing streak.
Garrett Jones 0 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jones came over from the Marlins with Nathan Eovaldi. Last night's starting pitcher for the Yankees. Here's the 1-2 from Sanchez. Swing and a miss.
And Sanchez has done a marvelous job of bearing the breaking ball and the changeup to the bottom of the zone this afternoon. And Xfinity is telling us that his best fastball so far today, 94 miles an hour. And 76 with a curveball.
That is the 4th strikeout of the game for Sanchez, but his first since the 3rd inning.
That's really the only thing that's kind of helped Sanchez today, kind of keep his pitch count in check. He's not piling up a lot of strikeouts.
Looking for the 1-2-3 6th inning. There's the 0-1. Rolled foul. Sanchez back-to-back 7 strikeout games his last 2 starts, which were both victories. Season high is 11, but he's kept the strikeouts at a minimum today. Out of all his, given up just 6 hits. Young is 1 for 2, single, steal, run scored.
And let's see what pitch they decide on here with 2 strikes on Young. Fastball in.
Too far in, 1-2.
He can go back in there again, and Young probably not looking for it. He wants to go real changeup.
2-2. Should Young reach, Stephen Drew is waiting on deck. Tigers have had 2 big innings in this game, the 4-run first and the 5-run sixth. And he got him, strike 3. Sanchez strikes out a pair here in the 6th inning. Anibal now with 5 strikeouts in the ball game. All Tigers today. Five home runs. They lead 12-2 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. A couple of changes now for Joe Girardi. Rowan Flores will take over in the left, which will slide the left fielder Young over to center, and that means that Gardner is out of the game, and Girardi's been waiting for an opportunity to give him a day off. He's going to give him the rest of this game off. As Kinsler will stand in for the Tigers. Tigers sent 9 men to the plate. They hit around in the 6th, and they busted it open with a 5-run inning. Jose DePaula goes back to work. And it's ball 1 to Kinsler.
And 14 hits for the Tigers today. Kinsler does not have one yet.
Flyouts, ground out, strikeout. Way high. 2-0 the count.
Everybody else in the Tigers starting lineup has at least one.
Three and 0 on Kinsler. And DePaula has not been close. He came on to face Romine in the very first pitch he threw in the big leagues. Romine took him deep down the left field line. He walked him. So Kinsler reaches base to start things in the 7th. We'll bring up Miguel Cabrera, who has been on base 4 times in this game. A couple of singles, couple of walks. He has scored a couple of times. Ball 1. DePaula can't find home plate now. It's 5 in a row that he's missed. Cabrera now has hit safely in 8 of his last 9. Came in second in the league in hitting. Jason Kipnis of the Indians was leading the league coming into play today. 345. There's a strike call.
Two singles, 2 base on balls today for Miguel. He usually does not leave New York without playing long ball. At least once in the series.
DePaula missing outside, 2-1. DePaula was originally signed by San Diego. Giants claimed him off the waiver wire. Now he's a Yankee. He'll get back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's 7 years old. Tanaka went 5 innings today. The Tigers beat him up pretty good. 10 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned for Tanaka. Cabrera's got his average up to 347 with his 2 base hits today. To center field. Young makes the play.
Let's take a look at the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. Victor Martinez got the Tigers on the board in the very first inning after a crucial error by their second baseman, their shortstop, excuse me. And then J.D. Martinez, 3 home runs for him today.
A quick strike for the Tigers. They scored 4 in the first, added 2 more in the second. They have never trailed today. And they piled on with a 5-run 6th. Martinez looks at a strike. Victor batting right-handed for the first time in this game. He's had a big day. 2 singles, the homer. 4 driven in for Martinez. Ground ball slowly towards short. Should be 2. There's 1, and there's 2. It's a double play to end the inning. Coming up, the McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch. To get you caught up on here today, the Tigers jumped all over Tanaka in the first inning as Victor Martinez hit a 2-run shot, putting the Tigers on the board. Later in the inning, it was the first of 3 homers for J.D.
Yeah, J.D. didn't stop there, though. He played long ball again straightaway center field in the 5th, and then he did it again in the 6th, going over the right field wall. And then it was Andrew Romine hitting his 3rd career home run, this one batting right-handed.
And here is our Comerica Bank game summary for this one. Tigers have 12 runs on 14 hits. Victor Martinez, big day, 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. JD Martinez, bigger day, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. Both of those are career highs for JD. Meanwhile, Anibal Sanchez still on the mound. He's done good work here this afternoon. Here are the numbers on Sanchez. 6 innings, 6 hits, gave up a couple of runs early in the game, but really not a whole lot more than that.
He threw a lot of pitches really early in the game, but he was able to slow down the Yankees and got himself some easier pitch outs in the inning. And because he's not striking out a bunch here today.
Tigers needed some length out of Sanchez today. They had to go to Josh Wilson to pitch the final inning in last night's game, and now they've got Blaine Hardy warming up. So we'll see if they can get 7 full now out of Sanchez. It'll be Stephen Drew to start things off. Drew, Ryan, and Flores. Drew is 0 for 1, walk, pop up, and a 180 batting average now. One ball, 1 strike on Drew. Deep drive to right field, down the line. That ball is way up, and it is gone. A home run.
Drew not hitting much for average this year, but that's the 10th home run of the season for Steven.
The 101st pitch of the day for Sanchez winds up deep in the seats. 10th homer, 23rd RBI.
A fastball that is right down the middle, and Drew, he knew it as soon as he hit it.
Here's the 10th home run hit in the series by the Yankees. Ryan skies this one to center for Davis. 1 out. Top of the order now. Ramon Flores will step in his first at bat. Brett Gardner taken out of the game. Flores sends a ground ball to second where Kinsler is waiting. 2 gone.
Of the 10 home runs that Stephen Drew has hit this year, as you can imagine, 7 of those have come right here at Yankee Stadium. This is a left-hander's hitter's haven, especially a pull hitter.
Here is Gregorius now with 2 outs. 12-3, Tigers lead in the 7th. Single and 3 at bats for Gregorius and a bouncing ball to first. That's going to be a quick inning for Sanchez. Covers the bag for the out. They get a run on the homer, and we go to the 8th. Wambach and Megan Rapinoe. And Team USA continue their quest for a third title as they take on Colombia in a winner-go-home matchup for both teams. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Catch it live as well. The whole tournament streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, Anibal Sanchez gets a big old hug from David Price.
That was a big hug.
One starter to another. Sanchez doing good work today, 12-3. John Ryan Murphy takes over behind the plate. And McCann has moved to first base, meaning Teixeira is out of the game. So the Tigers coming to the plate down here in the 8th inning. Cespedes, Martinez, and Holiday facing the lefty DePaula. Yoenis singled in a run his last time up. Tigers have doubled up the hit total on the Yankees, 14-7 today. The 1-0 is in for a strike. 1-1 on Cespedes. Chopper to the shortstop, Gregorius. Easy hop. One gone.
Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, and it is brought to you by Miller Lite. 3 home runs today for J.D. Martinez, first 3-homer game of his career. Slightly left to center field his first time up, straightaway center field the next time up. Then he went to right field. So power to all fields displayed off the bat of J.D. Martinez this afternoon.
Fourth player this season with at least 3 homers in a game. Adrian Gonzalez, Bryce Harper, Joey Votto are the other 3.
And J.D. the only right-handed batter to do it. No one has homered 4 times in a game this season.
Maybe, just maybe, J.D. will do that.
The way he's swinging the bat, I would not bet against him.
Here's the 1-1. Way outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And DePaula pretty good hitting speed too. Left-hander, fastball 89 to 91.
Major league debut today for DePaula. He'll get fouled back out of play. 2-2 on J.D. Martinez. DePaula's first pitch in the big leagues was hit out of the ballpark by Andrew Romine.
Yeah, it's good to be remembered for something.
I guess. Another foul back to the screen. So with his big day today, Martinez now 16 home runs, 41 RBIs. High fly ball right field. This one will stay in the ballpark. Garrett Jones under it. 2 gone. We'll bring up Brian Holiday. Tigers coming into this game had scored in 4 innings in their last 31, just 4 separate innings. They've done a lot of scoring today. 4-run first, 5-run sixth. They're 2 big innings. Holiday has a single and 4 at bats.
And the Tigers that came out to play today, and they were going up against Tanaka. Tanaka had pitched very well and since coming off the disabled list, but they jumped on him in the very first inning.
Drilled toward left field. That's going to get down. A base hit. Another hit for Holiday, his second.
And before the media was let into the Tigers clubhouse last night, and Brad Ausmus had to address his team. Brad did not elaborate on what he said, but you can imagine he wasn't happy with that loss last night. And the team responded today.
So now Romine, who homered against DePaula in the 6th inning. Andrew responding as well, getting a chance to start at third base in this game. Homer, single, walk. One ball, one strike. One and two. Tigers fell to 500 with their loss last night. They're about to go to 35 and 34. Swing and a miss. Romine retired, and so are the Tigers. No runs, one hit, one left. Here comes the bottom of the 8th.
Seven really good innings. His team desperately needed that. Everything, for the most part, was down in the strike zone unless he wanted to go upstairs with a four-seam fastball to change the eye level. He pitched inside aggressively to some of the left-handers, and he threw some outstanding change-ups today. Real nice outing turned in by the right-hander, Anibal Sanchez.
Sanchez 106 in the pitch count total today. Went 7, giving up 7 hits. He walked 2, struck out 5. And Sanchez departs the scene. The Tigers back him up with a lot of offense. And taking over now out of the bullpen and a wall side windows pitching change is Blaine Hardy.
He's done nice work since coming up, and really came up the very first day of the season when Joe Nathan went on the disabled list. But Blaine Hardy also pitched well last year in a Tigers uniform.
A-Rod, the first man that Hardy will face. 2-0 on Alex. And he shoots one to left, base hit. Leadoff single for the Yankees. Their 8th hit of the game. The Tigers have a couple of changes. Wilson comes on to play third. Romine will slide over to first. And, we told you about Hardy. First at bat of the ball game for John Ryan Murphy. Assuming to share a spot in the lineup. Swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike. Blaine went an inning into third, scoreless baseball with a couple of strikeouts in Cincinnati in that one game that they played there. Ball hit deep to center. Rajay going back. Still going back. Oh, we had all kinds of trouble with it, but hauled it in. What happened?
Battling that sun, man. He went back on it, then he started battling that sun. He tried to shade his eyes and he just lost his balance.
Well, he caught it at least.
You know how quick he got up? He got up quick, like, you know, when you fall sometimes you don't want nobody to see you.
Yeah, I meant to do that.
He got up real quick.
It was all part of the plan. Hoping nobody would see it. Crisis averted as he caught the ball. If he didn't catch it, boy, well, that would have been on some highlight shows. Still might be.
If we really want some good belly laughs tonight, though, we ought to go check out Kevin Hart tonight in Cleveland.
He's in Cleveland tonight?
Yeah, he's at the Q tonight.
Oh, he's good for more than belly laughs. He's hilarious.
We might get in there in time to get there.
You got connections. Get us tickets.
Want our credentials? Get us in?
No. McCann, the batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Home run for McCann plus a single. Here's the 1-2. Holiday down to get it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boston 7, KC nothing in the 5th. Tigers have a chance to get back to within 5.5. Strike call. So McCann turns around, heads back to the bench. Hardy has his first strikeout. Here's Garrett Jones. Hitless in this ball game. Ground out, line out, strikeout for Jones. Ball 1 high. They play the shift on against him. There it is. One and one. One and two on Jones. Tigers left a little down in this one early when they scored 6 in the first 2 combined, then blew it open with a 5-run 6th inning.
And the first leads the Tigers had in the series pretty much had been all Yankees. First 2 games of the series on Friday and Saturday night, the Yankees, they scored runs in the very first inning and they never looked back in each of those games.
What's going on here? Country Joe he wants something cleared.
Wally, I got it, Joe.
Baseball in the on deck circle.
Everybody has a lot of fun with Joe West.
Lifted back out of play. And the Tigers going to see some cheddar in that series against the Indians. Bauer and Salazar and Carrasco.
For sure. But the one thing that they can do, they can hit a fastball. If those guys don't have their good secondary pitches, they're going to get beat up just like the Tigers have been beating up on Cleveland all year.
Chopper back to the mound. Hardy makes the play. That'll be it for the Yankees in the 8th. That means we go to the 9th. end up coming up with a walk-off win. As we go to the ninth, it'll be Iglesias to start things off, then Davis and Kinsler. 12 runs, 15 Tigers hits, 3 runs, 8 hits for the Yanks. Ball is still out there, and it's fouled straight back 0-1. This will be the 40th pitch coming up for Jose De Paula, making his major league debut today. A couple of scoreless innings after giving up the home run in the 6th. Pop-up foul 0-2. Joakim Soria warming up at the Detroit bullpen. Oh, look out, up and in.
It's the 3rd time he's done that today to Jose.
It'll bounce in, and the count now goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Slap foul back in the seats. Iglesias came in 1 for 11 on this road trip, but he's been on base 3 times today, including a single walk, fielder's choice, and he has scored a run. Davis on deck. Outside, 3-2. He lost it. Ball 4, leadoff man on here in the 9th.
It's been a very productive offensive day for the Tigers, and here's our 1-800 call Sam call of the game.
Driven to right field and deep. This is the 3rd of the day. It is going to be, and it's going to be in the 2nd deck the other way for J.D. Martinez. 3 home runs this afternoon. Rajai Davis stands in to take ball 1. What a day for J.D. Martinez. 2-run shot, solo homer, 3-run shot. Broke this one open. Tigers right now lead 12-3. Just off the plate. 2-0 the count. Rajai today is 1 for 5, single run scored. Reno. There's Kinsler waiting on deck. Most hits the Tigers have had in a game this year is 20. They're 5 shy of that. Count fills now 3-2 on Rajai Davis. They had a 20-hit game against Minnesota back on May 14th. The 3-2 is outside, ball 4. It's going to be a pair of walks to start the 9th. Well, Tuesday, Major League Baseball returns as Matt Carpenter and the National League Central leading Cardinals take on Giancarlo Stanton and the Marlins. It's a game you can see only on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Since coming into Paul has had difficulties throwing strikes. He's walked the first 2 men here in the 9th. And Kinsler taking all the way, looks at a strike. Still trying to get Ian his first hit of the game. Everybody else has at least one, each of the Tigers starters. Kinsler did walk in the 7th. Ball and 1 strike. In the air toward left center. Flores hauls it in. First out of the inning, and the runners will retreat. So Wilson will get his first at bat of the game. One on Wilson. He's done a fine job when he's been called upon. Had a couple of big games in that series against the White Sox. On the road at the U.S. Cellular Field. He'll foul that one straight back, and the count goes 0-2. Leadoff walks in this inning to Iglesias and Davis with 1 out. Josh Wilson is up there. He went the ball game in the 8th. And he looks at a ball low. 1-2.
Talked about this earlier. Rajai Davis, whenever he does get a chance to play, for whatever reason, the team performs very well. They're 22-9 in Rajai Davis' starts this year. Whether he be batting first or whether he be batting ninth, when he's in the lineup, they play better.
Wilson strikes out. There is a little bit of a presence to him, isn't there? I mean, he injects some energy, can do a lot of different things.
The team comes in 34-34 overall this season. Anthony Gose has had a marvelous season. This is not what that's about. I'm not doing a comparison. I'm just stating a fact. Rajai Davis brings, as you said, tremendous energy to this lineup on a nightly basis.
So here's Martinez with 2 outs. Strike 1 called on Victor. Knocked into a double play in his last at bat, but it's been a big game regardless. And Martinez now has the average up to 230 with his 3 hits today.
And very encouraged by one of the swings that Victor took today. Well, a couple of the swings that he took, but the fact that he's able to, when batting left-handed, sit back on that left knee, which he was not able to do earlier before going on a disabled list. I expect Victor to heat up and take off and just extend this lineup.
Here's the 1-1.
Nice change piece thrown by DePaula. Sold it like it was a fastball. Had good arm speed, and the bottom fell out of it.
Victor waiting on a 1-2. Takes high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If he does decide to come back with that next changeup that he got ahead of Victor with, Victor might just clobber this one if DePaula leaves it up a little bit in the strike zone.
Ground ball foul outside of the bag at third. Nice scoop down there.
These ball boys, they've been picking all series down there, right field and left field.
They definitely look like players.
Grabbed that like he knew what he was doing.
Got a little Iglesias in him.
Well, hot dog.
Here's the 2-2. Low 3-2. Guy down the left field line looks a little like Carlos Beltran. That wouldn't be Beltran down there, just ball boying today, would he?
No, Beltran chilling today.
Nice pickup nonetheless.
Beltran's a day off today on Father's Day.
Ghost waiting on deck. That's in the air toward right field, shallow, and Jones coming in under it. So nothing comes of the leadoff walks. No runs, no hits, 2 left. We will go to the bottom of the ninth, and here comes Soria.
Hits and a lot of that damage done by J.D. Martinez, who has homered 3 times in this game. It's our big boy, big play of the game. And did you know that J.D. Martinez is the first visiting player to hit 3 home runs in a single game at Yankee Stadium? And this is the 518th game played here. He is the first visiting player to do it.
Did not know that.
Curtis Granderson is the only other player to do it. And of course, he wore the Yankee pinstripes.
Well, Joakim Soria will come into the ballgame now and try and get the final 3 outs here and put the finishing touches. The Tigers have a 12-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the ninth, and the first pitch is popped in the air, shallow right field. Martinez coming in for out number 1. Numbers on Soria this year. ERA took a bit of a jump, and Soria gave up that grand slam to Todd Frazier earlier on this road trip. Here's Stephen Drew.
What would you say a 3-homer game is the equivalent of a no-hitter for a pitcher? Maybe?
I don't know that I'd go no-hitter. Here's a drive into right field. Martinez going back on this one to the wall, leaping. That ball's going to get out of here. It's a home run for Stephen Drew, his second of the game. A 3-homer game, man, that's tough to quantify. I don't know that I would go no-hitter, but it's awfully good.
There's been 289 career no-hitters with that one that Max threw yesterday. So that's quite a few.
True.
There's only been 16 times in the history of the game that a guy hit 4 homers in a game.
You're starting to convince me.
No, I'm just throwing it out there, just wondering what the equivalent would be.
4-ball game now. That one's fouled back out of play by Ryan. Defensive subs for the Tigers. Ghost in center. Davis moves to left. Wilson now is at second. Castellanos in the game at third base. Balls flying out of Yankee Stadium for this 3-game series. That one is going to stay in the ballpark as Davis again battles the sun. 2 gone. They'll bring in Flores now. The Tigers trying to get the final out here. And jet to Cleveland tonight for a 3-game series coming up against the Indians, where the weather is supposed to be nice. That's good. They've been hounded by the wet stuff so far in this road trip. Two and 0 on Ramon Flores, his second at bat in this game. He grounded out in the 7th. Two and 1. Flores recalled today from their AAA team. This is his second stint with the big club. Here's the 2-1. 2-2 the count. Soria now just 1 strike away from closing this one down. Slow ground ball to first base, and that's going to do it. So the Tigers avoid the sweep, and they do it in convincing fashion today as they pound the Yankees 12-4. And we'll have a whole lot more coming up from Yankee Stadium in a moment.